I'm a comic artist who decided to jump onto the AI bandwagon, so I asked ChatGPT to give me some comic scripts to draw out. At first glance, the scripts I got were pretty detailed, so I started thinking, is ChatGPT going to put me out of a job? I'm the illustrator behind the Unicorn Hoax. The Unicorn Hoax is a webcomic series that tells the stories of people of color working in corporate. I usually draw stories that I draw from my own experience in corporate or from stories that my readers submit to me, but I was feeling a little bit adventurous. I just wanted to see what an AI chatbot could actually give me instead. When I first started working on this video, I thought the overall message was going to be, hey, look at these wacky stories that ChatGPT gave me. I thought this would be the case because I assumed that ChatGPT would have more data to work with as opposed to, my little slice of stories that I get from people that I know. Instead, I'm pretty sure that ChatGPT won't be putting me out of a job anytime soon. I'll put some timestamps so you can jump right to my thoughts about ChatGPT near the end of this video. Let's dive into those 4 comic strips that I got out of ChatGPT. A black woman is sitting at her desk in a corporate office, typing on her computer. A white male coworker walks up to her, looking concerned. He says, "Hey, are you okay? You look upset." The black woman looks up at him with tears in her eyes. She says, "I'm just so tired of feeling like I don't belong here." The white male coworker puts a reassuring hand on her shoulder. He responds, "You do belong here, and we need your voice and your perspective. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise." A group of coworkers are gathered around a conference table for a brainstorming session. One of the coworkers, a black woman, speaks up. "I was thinking we could try a new approach to engage with our audience. What if we incorporated more user-generated content?" The team leader, a white man, responds with enthusiasm. "I love that idea. Let's start working on a plan to implement it." Another coworker, a South Asian man, chimes in with a suggestion. "And we could partner with influencers to showcase the user-generated content on social media." The black woman smiles, feeling valued and heard. She says, "Yes, that would be a great way to amplify our reach. Thank you for listening to my ideas, everyone." A group of coworkers are gathered in a conference room for a meeting. One of the coworkers, a black man, suggests an idea for a new project. Another coworker, a white woman, interrupts him and dismisses his idea without giving it proper consideration. The black man feels frustrated and undervalued, but he doesn't speak up for fear of being perceived as angry or difficult. As the meeting ends and everyone starts to leave the room, the white woman approaches the black man and apologizes for dismissing his idea. She acknowledges her privilege and commits to being more mindful of it in the future. A black woman is sitting at her desk in a shared workspace. She notices a coworker, a white man, staring at her and her natural hair. The white man approaches the black woman and asks if he can touch her hair, saying he's never seen hair like that before. The black woman, feeling uncomfortable and objectified, politely declines and explains that her hair is a personal and cultural choice. The white man, still not understanding the issue, responds with confusion and says he was just trying to compliment her. A quick disclaimer before we dive into my thoughts around this exercise with ChatGPT. I'm not an expert on AI or chatbots in any way. I just like reading about them online, and I also lean a lot on the expertise of my partner who knows more about this area than I do. So I might be getting some of the technical details wrong. I don't think ChatGPT can help me make comics, and here's why. These stories felt really bland and generic, almost like they came out of a corporate DEI training video. Here's one example. For instance, in one of the panels you just saw, and I'm just going to read it off my iPad here, the black woman, feeling uncomfortable and objectified, politely declines and explains her hair is a personal and cultural choice. Seriously, I'm pretty sure she'd just say, "Please don't touch my hair. It took me a lot of effort to get it to look this good, and I'm not an animal that you're trying to pet." I'm not saying the stories that ChatGPT gave me aren't real. These scenarios are some of the most common scenarios that you'll see play out in a corporate setting. They are very real, they can very much happen, but they kind of lack the nuance and depth that you'll see listening to stories that actually come from real people. Here's one that I'm about to show you right now. In contrast, here's a comic I posted earlier this year about a past coworker who is mixed race with an interesting background. People often ask her, "What are you?" because it's not immediately obvious where she is from her appearance. It's always a struggle for this coworker to respond because of her varied heritage. And then, various events throughout her lifespan also affect how she would answer that question, so that she never really knows how to respond. But in my opinion, that question is kind of rude, so not being able to answer it isn't such a bad thing. But that's not the point of my video. But no matter how many times I asked ChatGPT, I kept getting the same scenarios play out over and over again. Whether it was a white person approaching some black person at a desk, or it was a black person in a meeting with white people present, it just felt a bit repetitive, to be honest. The lack of variety and true representation in these stories seems to really be indicative of the sort of data that gets fed into ChatGPT, as well as the developers who are working on this project. The scripts I kept getting back felt very white-centered, or maybe a better way of putting it is what white people think happens to POC. I know this is where I should be a bit more positive and say, hey look, it's so great that an AI chatbot is trying to be anti-racist and inclusive. In fact, I don't know if you noticed in the screen recordings, but a lot of the scripts were followed up on, the lessons learned from the scenarios there. But I don't think it represents people of color and their voices at all. I've barely scratched the surface with my comics, but already I've covered a few different scenarios which really resonate with my audience. I commonly get the message, "Oh my god, I can't believe it, I'm not the only one." And you know what? Out of this entire exercise, the one thing that really bothered me that ChatGPT didn't seem to get was people of color's experiences in the workplace. It's not just about racism. Sometimes we see silly things in the workplace that are worth laughing over. Stories that are stranger than reality. I have a buddy who attended a company holiday party with her partner. Her partner saw a bunch of people huddled together in an accessible bathroom stall, hitting the slopes and doing God knows what else in there. And yes, of course I had to make that story into a comic. And that's all I have for you today. If you want to see more of my comics, you can find them on Instagram at @TheUnicornHoax or on TikTok, Mariko Abe Creative. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any thoughts on ChatGPT that you think I should know, leave a comment below. I'm excited to see what you think. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.